Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bitz About Botz, where I interview experts in the industry of intelligent automation. It's not just about the youth coming up the ranks. It kind of ties into this concept that you and I share of the empowerment of women.
Last year, with the social organization, we had a mission to reskill women specifically, and we were able to reskill about 700 women. 400 of them got jobs in intelligent automation.
The team at Automation Anywhere and the team at WonderBotz are committed to marching towards Women's History Month of 2024. So I am absolutely thrilled to be joining Neeti today. She is from Automation Anywhere, a partner that WonderBotz has made a concerted effort to have strategic partnerships and go-to-market strategies with this year. We know that WonderBotz has been part of every single intelligent automation RPA firm and adjacent technologies that have risen over the course of our history. Automation Anywhere was the last one on the block, and we're thrilled to have really doubled down on our partnership with Automation Anywhere. And recently, we just got back from our first time sponsoring Automation Anywhere Imagine in Austin. I'm joined today by a powerhouse that most folks in the industry totally know without even introduction. But even still, Neeti, I'm going to give you a chance to introduce yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today for an episode of Bitz About Botz. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, some of the things that you do at Automation Anywhere, and really the fun stuff that we're going to talk about that we do outside of work to really make us keep ticking.
Thank you so much, first of all, Paula, for having me. It's always exciting to talk about different things, of course, but especially our favorite topics of conversation, which is intelligent automation. And women empowerment, social impact, and all this other good stuff. So thank you so much for having me. Always a pleasure. I'm Neeti. I am a co-founder at Automation Anywhere, and I lead currently our social impact office. And we are very focused at the impact office at Automation Anywhere to really leverage the technology we have, which is intelligent automation, powered by artificial intelligence, Gen AI capabilities, and so forth, and really bring that technology so that we can make nonprofits do more or be able to be more productive and do more for society as a whole. So I love leading our impact office. I think the work we do and our partners are just phenomenal, and I'm always happy to talk about it.
That's fantastic. And by way for everybody kind of listening of how I even stumbled across you is Gabriel, your head of content marketing, who I've admired from a distance. And as we all know, in this modern age, we become LinkedIn friends or Facebook friends before we become real life friends, right? And through Gabriel, in just talking to him about some of the work that WonderBotz has done to make an impact in the community, we are for profit, we are an organization, absolutely. But the value system of the leadership team has always been as such that social corporate responsibility is important, no matter how small we are, whether or not we have to report that to the streets or that the SEC even cares about what we do for the community on paper, we care. And it's been my personal mission to try and evangelize the different ways that automation can help people. And it's a multitude of ways, right? You just mentioned, women's empowerment. One of the such topics that I think is just so crucial to kind of bring into light is how we've given other people opportunities to have jobs. I think for so long, probably until about 15 years ago, it was so difficult for kids rising in the ranks to figure out what they wanted to be when they grew up. What am I going to be when I grow up? And, and there was this cookie cutter way in which you were supposed to have a successful career. And in intelligent automation, we've really blown that paradigm up and just said there are multiple ways to find success. And Automation Anywhere, has really, really provided a lot of folks the opportunity to have these options. And I'd love for you to tell me a little bit about your view about the future of work and how some of these young up and rising stars that maybe a traditional schooling, traditional education may not have worked for them, but we've now given them a career path and a good one at that. Would you comment a little bit about how you guys are promoting that?
Absolutely. I was speaking many years ago to a couple of folks in the university world, and we were talking about exactly what you mentioned, how it was when we were growing up and how we decided on a career and what path we followed. And in today's world, what I understood was that they expect the average person today to have about 5 different careers in their lifetime. And that's because of the way the industry has developed, of course, but also because the lifespan is more opportunities abound, travel has become easier, and so forth. And so as we transition, into these various job profiles, and you see that today, right? Like you have folks who start in accounting and finance and move to IT and then move to sales, and then they get interested in engineering and suddenly they're coding. And you see all these movements around what is possible. And to me, that is continuous learning. That's number one. And then number two, what are the tools or what are the skill sets? What is the knowledge I need so that I can transition between these various careers and bring value quickly and easily, both to the organization I work for, but also to my own career. And to me, intelligent automation is definitely one of those. No matter what your career choice, no matter how you transition out from one department to another, maybe, or from one organization to another. Like me, I transitioned from accounting to advertising, advertising to marketing, and then marketing to social impact. Right? These skill sets, like intelligent automation, enhance your job capability no matter what. So our aim is to actually bring these skill sets, like intelligent automation skill set, to a large segment of society. One, so they can transition between jobs, but also folks who traditionally didn't have access to tech jobs. And that way we can bridge the wealth gap. We can actually make it more viable for them, lift their economic standards sometimes lift the communities they work in, and sometimes just enable them to dream. We've met so many folks who their first foray into technology skill sets was through intelligent automation training, and they're like, I never knew I could be a technologist. And
Right.
that's always a great way to engage. One last thing is that we are definitely on the precipice, and we've seen that of a technology revolution. We were in the midst of one, and I think this year, with the first 6 months being what they were, we've really spun it on its head. And the next few years, we're going to see products and services and technology just transform society and industry. And therefore, it's really important to have these skill sets so you can belong to that new, and belong not just in a way of contributing, but involving yourself, understanding it, being part of that innovation. So I just get very excited when people want to reskill using intelligent automation or upskill themselves. And that's a big focus in our impact office.
Yes, no, and I think that's so crucial, and it also segues into some of the, the initiatives that we've had, that it's not just about the youth coming up the ranks. It kind of ties into this concept that you and I share of the empowerment of women.
Yeah.
And I know that you recognized one of the causes that WonderBotz is really involved in, and I'm looking so forward to our partnership on this. But this concept of second innings, where women have been out of the workforce for a long time, and intelligent automation, and the way that we've really done a great job, I think, as an industry, to give tools and educational levers to be able to self-educate and begin to promote kind of this awareness of a new type of industry. And it's really given women an opportunity to think outside the box. Maybe you don't have to go to the same career that you were thinking about before you became a mommy, right? And maybe there's this new charted path, and WonderBotz, we've supported that. We've hired several women from that group because we find that the grit and the gratitude and the ability to just really shine through, having that opportunity is just beautiful. And so we continue to support that, as much as we can and as often as we can. So this is our second annual year running doing that. Another thing that you and I had spoken about that I thought was just so fascinating, and your title is just amazing. I want to be that title when I grow up. I think that's definitely going to be right up my alley, is the education, right? And just really making sure that not only our clients and our customers and our people, our staff understand really the impact that this can make. It's not just about dollar signs, it's about quality of life. It's about getting Make-A-Wish Foundation children, that trip to Disney World in time, because the SLA and the clunky process that they have to follow, paper pushing, doesn't get that fast enough. It's about, transitioning the way that, eviction notices happen so that there's a collaboration between the city and homelessness. There's true social, justice that can be done just by applying intelligent automation to propel the way that things go. And I wanted to ask you this, and I'm putting you on the spot just a little bit, but are there any use cases in the time that you've been at Automation Anywhere that give you that warm and fuzzy feeling and that just desire to continue doing what you're doing that you'd be willing to share with us?
Oh, so many of them. Again, I'll take a step backward and then I'll give you a couple of use cases. There are two main areas of focus at Automation Anywhere for impact. We have three pillars, but two main areas of focus. One is to bring nonprofits the productivity gains that you can see from technology, of course. And then the second is the reskilling, upskilling of folks around the world. And then our third pillar, of course, is community involvement, our volunteering, and we do just a fantastic job. The employees at Automation Anywhere always show up, and I love that. But coming back to the first two, let me give you a use case of helping nonprofits build productivity using intelligent automation. We worked with an organization, a social partner of ours called CFHT, where they were working with a nonprofit in the Ukraine, for example, for refugee management and providing aid requests. So when a refugee or an IDP, internally displaced person, has a requirement, they go to an aid office and they fill out an aid form or send a WhatsApp message or a Telegram message, etc., to say, I need this medicine, or I have a child and I need this size diaper, or where's the nearest mobile health clinic because I'm in need of a doctor. And when that comes through, they have to obviously collate it. They have to answer the queries. They've also got to collect all the information of how many medicines they need and of which medicine and what dosage and what diaper size, etc. And then place those orders with other organizations that actually help provide that. And we were able to help automate that as a part of a collaborative effort between many people. And we were able to increase the number of aid requests in a day by 400%.
Oh, wow.
And because of that, they were able to open in a couple of months or so, 12 new centers. They were able to serve about 32,000 different individuals with aid requests and actually go through about 100,000 aid requests in themselves. And so, we see this in the corporate world at all times, right? We hear companies, this one process we automated and we saved $1 million. So we, were able to go to market that much faster, or we served our customers and patients better. But when you see that in the nonprofit world, it's doubly exciting, in my opinion. One, because it uplifts all of society. We're all better off because what we were trying to do, of course. And then the nonprofit in itself, right? The funding that they get, or the grants that they get, the capital funding that they get, goes directly to the mission. So maybe in this particular case, we were able to provide more aid faster. In other cases, like let's say we had an earthquake or we had a climate change event, and you were able to provide information, or you were able to provide aid that much faster. It could mean a difference between life and death. Think of the Red Cross and what they do.
Yeah.
These are things that make us more human. And to me, that's what technology is all about. It makes us more human,
Yep.
or allows us the freedom and
The
the time
freedom.
and the
Yes.
effort required to be more human. So, it's just fantastic what these technologies, when they come together, can do.
Yes, no, I agree wholeheartedly. And, and circling back to kind of this women's mission, right? And we still have a very big, gap between men in our industry and women in our industry and across the board in corporate America. But I think technology is definitely more prominent. And it's become more prevalent that even in investing rounds, right, women are not getting invested and funded as much as men are in some of these areas. And I think it's our responsibility to shift that paradigm and to give hope to the women that are up and rising, to say, don't get discouraged because of the statistics, because that one brilliant idea is the one that's going to kind of shine through. And so as such, one of the other commitments that WonderBotz wants to make with Automation Anywhere as we forge this relationship. Of course, we want to sell robots, and of course, we want to sell technology, and of course, we have to do that. But we want to do all of those things with the lens of being able to evangelize this and help create social impact elsewhere, right? And the more that we make and the more that we do together with that mission in mind, I think that we're really, really setting ourselves up for success. So one of the other things that that I guess we'll use this forum to announce, Neeti, is that the team at Automation Anywhere and the team at WonderBotz are committed to marching towards Women's History Month of 2024 and really making a big splash to bring our clients and our prospects and our partner friends and bringing everybody together in a non-rivalry type of way, but with truly having the best interest at heart of evangelizing to women that they can be the forefront of these initiatives, and that their ideas do matter, and that their input is important and will change and move the needle. And so I wanted you to comment a little bit about that, because I know we have a project in the rise, and I can't believe we're almost at Q4 anywhere. It's going to hit us before we know it. But we've got about a 4-month to 6-month stint, a little commitment to each other, that we're going to be doing milestones. So tell us a little bit about about that. Let's get some of our audience to be encouraged by that. We'll be sending out snippets and more information to pull people together of all walks of life to help make this. But we are fully committed as WonderBotz and Automation Anywhere to make a big splash for Women's History Month in the name of rising technologists.
No, what a worthy cause. There are two reasons why I think women have to be part of this equation. Let me go back to reskilling, upskilling for a minute. When women become open to learning new technologies, for example, or are given the opportunity to do so, first of all, they take it up. Second of all, they succeed. And third of all, they not only uplift themselves, but they uplift the families and the communities they live in. So very well-known statistic from many, many organizations is that when you are able to provide a living wage to a woman, of course, she is uplifted, but then she also uplifts the children. They have a better education, crime can reduce in the community, and so forth, right? And we all know the story there. So it's just, for society as a whole, first of all, it's just a fantastic thing to do. Let me give you an anecdote, well, not an anecdote, but some statistics from our work in reskilling women in Africa, for example. Last year, with a social organization, we had a mission to reskill women specifically, and we were able to reskill about 700 women. 400 of them got jobs in intelligent automation. Just that statistic alone, to me, is, look at those women. They were just given an opportunity. In 3 months, they were not only able to learn, they were able to grasp that opportunity, uplift themselves, uplift their families, and uplift their communities.
And excel. Let's not kid ourselves. Excel.
No, they got the job because they were really good at it. They didn't get the job because they were just a woman. They got a job because they were a woman.
Exactly.
And they did really well, right? So it's just, I think, really, really exciting to see more women in that. The second aspect of this is, in my opinion, artificial intelligence, as we know, in the last 6 to 8 months, is really on a spinning top, just going places. And it's very, very important. And we have a very small window of opportunity to really get extremely diverse data sets into this intelligence, extremely diverse data sets to train these bots. So the more women who understand technology, who have some understanding or some skill set in technology, the more diverse the input into this artificial intelligence that we are creating. And this is superbly important, one, because the solutions that come out of it are better when it's more diverse.
Right.
But more importantly, they are catered towards all of us. They're catered towards the men and the women, and people in whether you're in Africa, or whether you're in Australia, or whether you're in the US, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
It should really be for everyone. And that diverse data set requires us to participate. So reskilling women is just superbly important. I would say it's an absolute necessity. And I would love to work with anybody who wants to help with that mission, of course, but excited to work with WonderBotz on this.
Yes, no, absolutely. And over the next couple months, as we march on, we're going to be putting together different ways in which we can encourage the community to join this mission, because this is truly an initiative that I think we're going to take on. We'll start it, but we need the people to grow, right? Build it and they'll come.
That's right. Absolutely.
Is how they say. Is how they say. Well, Neeti, thank you so much. I think this will be the first of many conversations. I just wanted to inaugurate our partnership, and you were just such a fantastic person to be able to do that with. I know that there was a lot of success. There's a lot of to-dos that my team was sharing with me from the conference last week. It was a smash, I heard. And I'm really, really looking forward to our partnership and doing so much more together in the future.
Likewise, thank you to WonderBotz for sponsoring, of course. Imagine's always a big buzz. So if you've missed it, look at it online or come to the next one. But I look forward to doing more with you. Really nice to talk to you, Paula. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Neeti.